Hello guys, so welcome to KO Tutorials. So let's continue with the next part of this tutorial. So as you can see, we have started with the standard lights, the concept of standard lights. So we'll be continuing with that. So as I've explained you few of the things over here, as like the 3-point lighting concept over here. So I have taken one key light over here. So now what I'll be doing over here is like, I'll be taking one more light. I'll just copy this light. I'll slightly place it over here. I'll slightly push it down. I'll off the shadow and I'll name it as fill light. So how fill light works, I'll be explaining you that. So for that, very first of all, I'll reduce the intensity of this light to 0.6 over here, and I'll change the color of this light to red to just explain you how the light works. So I'll just give a red color over here to the light. Any of the color, you can even take a green over here or blue over here just to explain you. And I'll take one more light. I have reduced the intensity of this light and let's name it as rim light or backlight. So let's just name it as rim, and I'll give a color as pink over here just to give you an understanding of the lights. So now I'll select this light. So this is your fill, this is your rim, and I'll reduce its intensity to 0.4 over here. Let's go into rendering, render setup, and let's render and see how it looks like. So if you look at it over here, one is your key light, that's your main light over here. If you see this other light, that's your fill. So you see this area, that's your fill area. And if you look at the corner over here, at the edges of it, if you see, that is your rim light. So for example, if I increase its intensity, you will see there is a kind of a rim created at the edges of the object, which separates the object from the background. To give you an understanding, I have just taken this lights over here. So one is your key, one is your fill, and other is your rim light. Now alright, so we have one more light over here. I'll be taking another light. So let's just remove these lights and let's go into this AC extended. I'll take a wall over here. So let's just take a wall over here. So just take a wall. So I'll just convert to editable poly. So as we are going through some standard lights, so we'll be going through one more light over here. I'll just give 2 connects over here. So just give 2 connects again. Select this. Just for example, I'll put some kind of grills over here to give you an understanding of it. So I'll just make a copy of it. Alright. So now I'll just assign a material over here. I'll just assign a basic material. So let's just assign a basic material. Alright. So go to the top and let's assign a roof over here. So I want that it should be totally closed over here. Now we have one more light over here. Go into standard lights and we have one more light. That's your spotlight. That's your target spot. So what is the use of spotlight? If you want to focus any of the object over here, you can use spotlight. Spotlight can be used to show some light coming from a window. That can also be used in that way. So let's drag a spotlight right from the front view from inside the window. So as soon as you take a spotlight over here, you will see that I'll just you will get two options over here. One is your target. So this is your target, this is your target. So you can move the light with the help of this target over here. So select this light. You have option, that's your shadow. You can activate the shadow over here. So let's just activate the shadow and let's give a normal shadow map. As usual, you can just take the light color. So let's just take a light color. After that, let me explain you one thing over here. The same way we have the options like decay. So I'm keeping the decay as none over here right now. And if you keep it as inverse, so the light will be a bit less, the intensity will be same. Let's take the intensity as 1 over here. Now the decay inverse square, that's very less. Let's make it again as none. So you can see that the light is coming right from here. Slightly I'll just push this up a bit. Alright. And now over here you can use the near attenuation and far attenuation. So how you can use a near and far attenuation? Let's go into this. You have a far attenuation. If you use this, you can see that how far my light should go from a target. So if I keep this attenuation till here and if I render it, you will see that my light is going till here. I'll increase its attenuation and again I'll render it. You see that if you are increasing the attenuation, the far attenuation part, the light will go at a distance. How far you want to light should go, you can define this as we did it over here in Omni light also. So this is a target spot. When I talk about the target spot part, so target spot is something like you are focusing on particular object. At that time you can use this target spot. So you get some parameters in spotlight also. You get show cone, overshoot, we'll keep it as normal. Hotspot beam is like you can increase and decrease this beam area. Fall of field, if you keep it closer, you will see that it's going to be more sharper. It's going to be more sharper. So let's try it. Let's do it. And let's render it. You will see the difference over here. So you see the difference, it's looking more sharper. I increase the fall off field and I'll again render it. Again render it. You can get some softness. Alright. So now what I want over here is like, we can slightly reduce it. You can make it as rectangle also. The shape right now over here is as circle. So let's make it as rectangle. And now I'll reduce this according to the window size. You can see this. Okay, I'll increase it. You can adjust it according to the window size. You can render it. Also you can adjust this part. So you can definitely adjust this. So again select this light over here. Let's go into this. So as I have shown you over here, you can use this option. Also you get the contrast and all this stuff that can be changed. So as we have done it previously. So right now we are going through only one light over here. That's your spotlight. Again you get a projector map. So as usual you can just go into this, take a map. So let's for example we'll call a map over here. Let's call a map. If I call a map over here and let's render it. So you will see that you will see a map in the light. So that's what your projector map will work in this way. You can right click and clear it. Go into the shadow parameters. Dense if you want to make it much lighter. Light shadow. So you can use this dense parameter. So let's just make it as 1 as usual. Alright. You can also get a map in the shadow. So activate this. Let's go into this and let's take a map. So now again if you render it, you will see that you will get a map in the shadow. That's your shadow map. I'll remove that part. After that, can go into the shadow parameters as I explained you. You can increase this shadow quality. For example, if you're making this material as a glass material, let's go into this architectural and let's make it as glass clear. So select the light. Go into this. So now let's just render and see how it looks like. So if you're rendering it with a shadow map, you can see the render and you can see the shadow. And in the same way, select the light and let's make it as ray trace shadow and let's render it. So let's render it. So that's how your ray trace shadows work. So as you can see, if you have a glass material, when you activate the ray trace shadow, you will get the ray trace shadow in this way. So that's how your ray trace shadow work over here. So I just wanted to show you how ray trace shadow work. So that's how it works over here. So let's go down, and we have one more option over here in ray bias. You can set it as two-sided shadows and increase this ray bias. Also you can add some volume light. Let's add a volume light attached with it. Go into the setup. You can go over here, let's give a fog color, and let's give the density as 0.6 and noise on, link to light. So I want a bit of noise with the light, so I can just add it, and let's render and see how this volume light works. Can you see this volume light? So volume light right now is too much, it's too high. So I'll go into 0.05 and let's render it again and see. This is how your volume light works. So I'll change the light. The color of the light is a bit. Alright. So let's render it. Now you can see alright, that's your volume light. Can still work with this volume. I can just go up slightly, just push this up. Go into this. Volume light. Setup. Increase it 0.09. You also have this high and low. You can go with fractal also if required. And let's render it again. So that's how it looks over here. So definitely you can add some lights over here. So you can also add one omni light over here. You can just put it below the ceiling. Reduce it to 0.4 over here. Okay. Can reduce it. So let's render and see. Alright. So guys, if any doubts, please put it in the comment section over here. So I'll be showing you a few more things over here. And the other part, working with standard lights. Hope you understood the concept of this standard lights, where we have used today the utilization of spotlight over here and how it works. So please like and subscribe my YouTube channel. So if you are not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. So we'll continue the rest of the part in the coming tutorial. So thanks for watching this tutorial.